Breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Hold, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Again, breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Hold, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Last time, breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Hold, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Good job. Rosie's Brain, written and illustrated by Linda Ryden. Rosie woke up on a Saturday morning, feeling excited. She had plans to play frisbee with her best friend Henry. She got dressed and ran downstairs for breakfast. Her mom said, "Good morning," and handed her a bagel with cream cheese. "Hurry up and eat. We have to leave in a few minutes for your piano lesson," she added. Rosie froze. Piano lesson? What? That can't be right, she thought. No! No piano! No piano! No, no, no! She screamed and threw her bagel onto the floor. Her dog, Tulip, quickly ran over and carried it away to save for later. Rosie's mom was surprised, but she said calmly, "Rosie, you're flipping your lid. Why don't you go back up to your room and try to calm down? We can talk about this in a little while." Rosie was furious, but she stomped back upstairs and slammed the door to her room. She sat down on her favorite chair. She noticed that she was breathing really hard, like she had just run around the track a bunch of times. She also noticed that her face felt hot and her hands were scrunched into little balls. She opened her mouth to scream some more, but instead of her own voice, she heard a voice coming from the corner of the room. "This is totally unfair. We had plans. It's Saturday. I don't want to go to piano. Wah!" Rosie looked in the corner and saw a little girl sitting in the laundry basket. She looked to be a little younger than Rosie, with pigtails sticking out the sides of her head. "Who are you?" asked Rosie. "I'm your amygdala," she said. "But you can call me Amy. Nobody ever says my real name right." "My arugula?" said Rosie. "No, arugula is like lettuce. I'm your amygdala. I'm part of your brain." Rosie touched her head. "My brain?" "Yup," said Amy. "I'm the part of your brain that reacts to things. I help keep you safe because I'm always watching out for bad things. In my book, there are only 2 ways to handle a problem. Fight it or run away from it. Works every time." "Well, it works sometimes. Remember that time your friend Henry knocked over your Lego tower and you screamed and pushed him over backwards?" Yeah," said Rosie. "That was me," said Amy. "Are you the reason I threw my bagel on the floor and slammed the door?" asked Rosie. "Me again," said Amy. "Huh," said Rosie. "So I'm here now because of this whole playdate disaster. I think this is possibly the worst thing that has ever happened," shouted Amy. "Now hold on there a second, Amy," said a sweet voice. "That's not quite true. Don't you remember when Rosie sat in dog poop at recess? That was much worse." Rosie turned and saw a kind-faced woman with round glasses and curly hair piled up into a big bun on the top of her head. "Who are you?" asked Rosie. "I'm your hippocampus, dear, but you can call me Mrs. Pickles." "My hippo what?" asked Rosie in surprise. "Hippocampus, dear. I'm another part of your brain. I'm the part of your brain that stores all of your memories. I take everything that you see, hear, and do, and store those memories away in your brain, just like books in a library. Do you remember that time you hit a home run in the baseball game?" "Of course I do," said Rosie, beaming. "You're welcome," said Miss Pickles. "Oh, well, thanks, I guess," said Rosie. "But I wish you hadn't reminded me about the dog poop. Ugh." "Sorry," said Miss Pickles. "But why are you called Miss Pickles if you're my hippocampus?" asked Rosie. "Because your hippocampus is shaped like a pickle," said Miss Pickles. "Hey, don't forget about me," shouted Amy. "I'm still really mad. I think we should go downstairs and tell Mom that we're never, ever going to piano lessons again. And then we should take a big hammer and smash the piano into 1,000,000 pieces." Now, Amy, you're getting a little carried away. Let's take a moment to think this over," said a calm voice over by the window. "Oh, thank goodness, it's PFC," said Miss Pickles. "PF who now?" asked Rosie. "Hello, Rosie. I'm your prefrontal cortex, PFC for short. I'm the part of your brain that thinks things over and makes good decisions." Rosie looked over and saw a tall, kindly woman wearing a big peace sign necklace. Amy was screaming and yelling and throwing laundry out of the laundry basket. "Amy, please settle down so we can think," said PFC calmly. "I can't!" shouted Amy. "I'm so angry, and the feeling is getting bigger and bigger and—" "Rosie, dear, don't you remember what Mom tells you to do when you flip your lid?" asked Miss Pickles. "Your mom says that when you're really angry or upset, it's like your brain has flipped its lid, and your amygdala," points to Amy, "takes over. You need to get your PFC back in charge." "But how?" asked Rosie, covering her ears to block out Amy's noise. "As I recall, your mom says that taking slow, deep breaths will help calm Amy down and let you think again. Do you remember how to do it?" asked Miss Pickles. "Oh yeah, we've been practicing mindful breathing." Rosie sat down and closed her eyes. She took a slow, deep breath in through her nose and then slowly let it out through her mouth. When she breathed in, she imagined that she had a little balloon in her belly and she was filling it up with air. When she breathed out, she imagined she was letting the air out of the balloon. She breathed slowly in and out for a while until she noticed it was much quieter in her room. She looked over and saw Amy all curled up in the laundry basket taking a nap. "Well, that's better," said PFC. "Now that we're calm, let's figure out how to solve our problem." "The thing is," said Rosie, "I made plans to play frisbee with Henry, but I forgot all about my piano lesson." "Oops, sorry about that. I must have stored that memory on the wrong shelf," said Miss Pickles, wandering off to look for it. "That's okay," said PFC. "I've got an idea. Why don't you ask Henry if he can meet you at the playground after your piano lesson?" "That's a great idea," said Rosie. "I actually really like my piano lessons. I was just excited about frisbee. Gee, it's so much easier to think now that I'm calm." "Oh, Rosie, don't you think there's something else that you need to do now?" asked Miss Pickles. Rosie jumped up and said, "Right! Thanks for reminding me, Miss Pickles." Rosie opened her door and almost tripped over Tulip, who was happily gnawing on her bagel. Rosie ran downstairs and found her mom drinking tea. "Mom, I'm really sorry I screamed at you and threw my bagel on the floor." "That's all right, Ro. We all flip our lids sometimes," said Mom. "Yeah, that's for sure. But once Miss Pickles and my PFC helped me calm Amy down, I felt much better," said Rosie. Rosie's mom looked confused, but she was glad the tantrum was over. So she smiled and said, "Okay, honey, that's great. Want a bagel? Cinnamon raisin, your favorite." "Thanks, Mom." "Hey, is it okay if I play Frisbee with Henry after my piano lesson?" "Sounds like a great plan," said Mom. Tulip waited hopefully for another bagel to drop, but this time Rosie ate the whole thing. The end. Remember, breathe, breathe, breathe. See ya!